So today is what, April 8th on the patch, and I've got my onion. These are my onion starts. They're not sets, they're starts. Like I started these seeds back in like January. Now these ones did a little bit better, and then I came along. It's like if you look here, you can see there's like a couple of them that are real big, and then some of them that are real skinny, real small, compared to these ones, which are all basically the same. And it's because I had to do this one twice. Had to get new fresh seeds. They didn't all germinate the first time, so that's why some of these are smaller. And I'm just hardening these off. They're not dormant. That's why it's not like an onion set where they've been dormant. So you got to harden them off first, which is right, just for those of you who don't know, is the process of kind of setting them out for a couple of hours each day, and then bringing them back in, and then setting them back out, and bringing them back in, and letting them acclimate to like the UV sunlight. See the lines in the sky, because we're not allowed to have sunlight. They have to cloud seed and make us all depressed all the time, so we get depressed and then we go buy their antidepressants. It's a big racket. It's a big racket. It's huge. I've got don't let it depress you though. That's letting them win. If you look down, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's an apple tree. I know it's because it's in a plain red solo cup. I don't know what's in what. I have a chart downstairs so I can keep track, but there's another little apple tree that popped up. And thus far they've survived the cold like we've had. Below freezing temperatures. There's one. There might be more in there. Those are the first ones to pop up. But yellow cups are something different. Blue cups are probably blueberries, and then there's blackberries, raspberries, pears, plums, peach, and just every single color that you see is its own thing. And then I ran out of colors of cups, so I added like a yellow cup with a plastic fork, or a red cup with a fork, or a green cup with a fork, or a red cup with a spoon. It's all something different. Like I say, I don't have it all memorized. I wrote it down. So if you're going to do anything like that, they have to overwinter in order to cold stratify. I guess you could do it in a refrigerator or a freezer or something like that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do it the natural way. But my project for this morning or this afternoon, probably starting this morning and leading into the afternoon, is I have all of this. It's called Remial chipped wood. Remial chipped wood, or RCW for short. And basically it's all of the good, like the bark that I peeled off of the firewood, or pieces when I'm running the splitting maul. I just do it all with a splitting maul or a splitting axe. And you get these pieces that come off, and these big chunks. I'm not going to run it through a wood chipper or anything like that. I don't have one. I don't need one. And then also all the sawdust and everything from pretty low from everything. I see something else over there. Maybe I should point out all the sawdust from running the chainsaw. And I'm scooping all of that up into my wagon there, my gorilla cart. It's not a plug or anything. I wouldn't advertise anyway. But it's a good tool. I love tools, man. I love me some tools. I love me some good old-fashioned type tools. You can see these are some examples. This tree has just been getting ate to death because I didn't put a deer net around it like I should have. This one's okay. Surprisingly, you can see it's starting to foliage a little bit. I've got deer netting on most of them. This is what I saw. Kind of me getting sidetracked a little bit here, but this is, I guess you'd call it what, Farmgate? Because you just come up to the farm, you can do some of your shopping. I just had like Last year's like dried peppers and whatnot, cayenne peppers. You can take a business card. Last year's dried up, ground up. That says dill. Get some dill, some basil tea. I'll have different varieties this year, I hope. We just have the sweet basil, but like lemon basil or lime basil or different kinds of basil. Get your Easter eggs. Easter eggs of different colors. I don't know if it's gonna. The lighting is worth a crap. You can see the different colors: the blue, the brown, the green, the olive colors. The hens just lay those eggs naturally. I always put a jug of ice. That's what that is. It says orange juice, but it's a jug of ice. Little money cups you can make change. Thermometer, so that way you know that it's staying cold and healthy. Probably some places don't do that. Some places probably don't do the ice because I guess they don't wash their eggs. I think where I live. Technically, I guess I'm supposed to. Old-fashioned sign, wood burnished. Trees are starting to wake up. It's beautiful blue sky. I really wish to God they'd stop messing with it. It makes me wonder because now nobody, unless you're living under a rock, nobody believes that those lines in the sky are natural. Unless you're just that dumb, nobody believes those lines are natural. It worries me because I'm like, what would happen if they quit spraying? What would honest to God happen? Have we messed things up that bad that we can't have just natural weather? Is our environment that fucked up that we have to? What would happen if we quit doing that? Maybe things would get better. Maybe it'd be horrible. I really don't know. It bothers me. I think about stuff like that a lot. But yeah, so other examples of where I've put chipped wood, remeal chipped wood. Little cherry tree in there is just a baby. There's the apple tree that's doing much better. See, and this does have the deer netting on it. And it's waking up. At least until it gets big enough and tall enough that hopefully the deer can't reach it. And then I can move these around because I want other trees just all over the place if I can do it. I don't see the cost of food going down anytime soon. Because I don't see like any incentive for any government anywhere to start printing money, which is going to just drive prices higher. I don't know why they do that, if they think they're being clever or something. Greenhouse is looking pretty good. I got that's a little baby spinach, and also, if you can tell, those are little baby radishes in there. The serrated leaves are radish mixed with spinach. That's a space variety. Oh, there's a little kale here. Kale. This one's kale and radish. Some of it's spinach and radish. There's chives mixed in with all of this. Yeah, there's, you can see the red radish. Some of these have those oblong, almost heart-shaped seed leaves. Those are radish. These long and thin. That's going to be your garlic chive. I don't know if I have. This one's going to flower for me and give me seeds. That's fine. There's also a bunch of weeds in here from some of the weeds that grew up inside of the dog kennel and dropped their seeds everywhere. In these pots, and let it go. Whatever. Can't control everything. I got my. Oh, that's probably labeled. Da-da-da-da-da. White cauliflower is started in here. It's looking okay. Red cabbage, green cabbage. I don't think I actually have red cabbage. I think I had to redo that. I'm pretty sure it's all green cabbage. There's broccoli needs to start over in here. That looks terrible. Pea shoots came up. Pea shoots. See, there's a little one right there trying to come up. Little one right there trying to come up. Yeah, I got the pea shoots mixed in with the kale. Kale is all leaf, so it likes nitrogen, and peas are nitrogen fixing, so I don't see why they couldn't go together. Peas. Some of these are supposed to have little baby carrots. Little baby carrots. Hard to tell that that's a carrot at the moment. That's what it is. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's see what. While I'm sidetracked, and who cares? I can do what I want. 80 degrees in here. It's like 60 degrees is the high today, and it's 80 degrees in here. Whatever the low is at night, though, that's the low, because it's not really heated or all that well sealed up. But it does warm up during the day for sure. Be a little bit hillbilly and redneck. Hawk a loogie. Want a hawk a loogie? Red buddy flapping for you. Where the duck ran off to? If I had to guess, I'd say she's probably down in the creek here. But I have heard wild ducks, seen them, heard them fly around. So she might have a group of wild ducks that she hangs out with from time to time, or maybe she's down in this creek somewhere, just following the water. She usually comes back at night though, or just during the day when she gets, because she likes these guys here. This guy here is going to act all bully. You going to act all bully? No? I was worried about the roosters fighting, and they still do from time to time. Plenty of room. They've learned how to get up and hop from one fence to the other. So if they do fight, it's usually just for a second or two, and then one of them gives up and they'll go hop to a different fence. They're all, oh goodness, she got a bunch of feathers on that one. Sometimes I think the girls are actually meaner than the boys. See, now he's coming over here to put a stop to it. The boys are actually peacekeepers. They're better at fighting, like they can put a stop to it. They're bigger, they're stronger, and they're better at fighting. But that's because they're meant to be peacekeepers. They assert their dominance because they're peacekeepers. Keepers of the peace. Basically, it's like, behave yourself or I'll kick your ass. Which makes perfect sense to Macho. Does that make good sense, Macho? Huh? I'm leading the witness. I can answer for myself. You don't have to. I wonder if that duck's down here anywhere. Macho. 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 Macho do. I don't see that duck anywhere. It's nice and dry today. It's been a swampy mess. It's a lot drier now. It's a lot more manageable. This stuff here, I don't know if I should. And there's lettuce and stuff in there. I don't know what else is in there. That might be because there's a bit of a bald spot in there. Maybe that's where I transplant that lettuce that's up on the table up at the house all the way up there. Oh, excuse me. It's gross. It's not good etiquette. I was raised in a barn. Yeah, more radishes for sure. And there's that light green, that's lettuce next to the radishes. I think I got like purple heart. One of them's purple heart, one of them's like the big round red ones. One of them's purple. These are little, my shadow out of the way. There we go. Little cilantro in this bed coming up. Rhubarb already coming up in this one. And again, we had that cold, but it's okay. And I say we got below freezing and everything like that, but it looks okay. Some of the asparagus, which is just full of weeds, but there you can see a purple right there. Yeah, this one did get hit with the cold noodle, but it'll recover. The roots, I think asparagus roots can be like a couple foot deep, couple of feet, or like half a meter for people in the metric system. I'm not on the metric system. That's probably not even correct. But here's an old asparagus too. Same thing. The cold did kind of get it a little bit, but stuff happens. It should bounce back. Wonder what the macho's telling me. Well, this ryegrass, again, this is a winter rye, so it don't care. It can grow below zero and snow on top of it. It still keeps going. The sage is a perennial. It's a pretty hardy perennial. It's fine. I'm still seeing a lot of fresh green leaves on that, so that's good. I'll get sage this year. Deer don't like sage. Rabbit don't like sage. So if you've got something that deer and rabbit tend to, you can plant it next to your sage or plant your sage next to it or whatever. They'll leave it alone. I do see deer tracks right next to it, but they won't eat it though. It's kind of a deterrent. They don't like the taste of it. You can also take sage and make like a sage and cayenne pepper. There's like certain things that deer don't like and they won't eat it, and you can make like a tea, like a really strong tea. Just use stuff like that. Maybe put like a pinch of like dish soap or something so it sticks. And then that's a very organic way of making deer repellent. But you got to reapply every time it rains, or like every couple of weeks, because the plants, they breathe, they perspirate, and it washes off eventually. And I got all this compost here. This compost. It's got wood ashes and charcoal bits and things like that, and manure from the chickens and grass clippings, and there's all kinds of goodies in here. Last year's vines from I don't know, garden tomatoes, cantaloupe, whatever was left over. I'm going to pile that on top of. Now here's the coup de grace. This is what I say I've been working on. My grapes, which are starting to bud out, and these are youngins yet. So I'm just kind of going to let them bud out. I haven't really gotten choice canes yet, but I'm piling on the wood chips and the sawdust and everything like that, and I'm sure the rains will help this to settle. And I got my wire that it's going to trellis along. That's to kind of choke out the grass and the weeds, but also feed the soil and keep it moist. And then I got my deer netting. These ones I haven't gotten to yet, but you can kind of see how the deer netting works. It's just a stick with some zip ties on it, and then I use a piece of paracord and lash these two sticks together. It more or less holds inexpensively. I mean, the deer netting was probably the most, because the stick and the lashing and the zip ties or whatever, you just a bunch of knots. It ain't even all that pretty. You could probably tie it prettier if you wanted to. My turnbuckle for my tensioner to keep the posts upright and everything. Turnbuckle. So yeah, I have no idea if hopefully maybe I touched on something. Somebody can get some good use out of what I just said or did or whatever. Teach you about ramial chipped wood. If everybody's worried about, fertilizer shortages, but you can still, maybe shop local, shop organic. Their prices, at least in terms of fertilizer, that's an input that they're not worried about. If they're doing things organically, that's not an input that they're worried about because we don't use petrochemicals. Um, Good reason to do things organically. Yeah. Good luck to you, and God bless. See you later on the patch.